Welcome back and happy impending Halloween. Hopefully everyone has big plans for this Halloween weekend. I'll be on the road with my bluegrass band, The Crumbs, doing our annual Rocky Horror Pick and Show tour. And yes, it is a bluegrass version of the Rocky Horror Show, complete with costumes. Come check it out if you're in or around Arkansas in October. And I will be posting some dates, so if you do happen to be in the area, you know when to come out and you can see the show live. It'll be a lot of fun. Now, in part 1, we looked at numbers 9 through 5 of my 9 favorite truly terrifying albums. And if you missed part 1, you can check it out right here. All right, stick around. Here we go with my top 4 truly terrifying album picks. Number 4, Welcome to My Nightmare by Alice Cooper. This is Alice's debut album as a solo act, and I think it's the first concept album I ever heard in its entirety. And it follows the nightmares of a boy, and by the end of the album, a man named Stephen. And despite the campy, showbizy 70s variety show vibe of the title track and the dance hall or cabaret of some folks, Welcome to My Nightmare is actually a quite disturbing album. Like any Alice Cooper album, there are straight-ahead rockers, including Department of Youth and Escape, and the stunning ballad Only Women Bleed. And while even these mostly unassuming tunes show at least a bit of a dark side, things begin to get sinister with the medley of Devil's Food and The Black Widow. These tunes are heavy, dissonant, and frightening, dwelling on the fear of being eaten. But the true horror show on this record comes on side 2, beginning with Cold Ethel, a song about necrophilia. Now, before you get too creeped out, it is a big, rocking, tongue-in-cheek joke with some clever wordplay. Regardless, it's such a taboo subject that when you finally decipher the lyrics, it's a major shock to your sensibilities. And this brings us to the Stephen arc, comprised of the songs Stephen, Years Ago, and The Awakening. And in this arc, our protagonist, Stephen, was a twin, but his sibling only survived for about a minute. And as an adult, Stephen begins to realize his deceased twin lives inside of him, affecting his mental state and his ability to function in society and everyday life. The track Stephen is essentially a dialogue between the infant twin and the grown-up Stephen, grappling for control of his psyche. And the exchange, I'm a little boy, no, I'm a great big man, sung by Alice first in a child's voice and then in an exaggerated basso profundo, is nothing less than the sound of a nervous breakdown or a psychotic break. The track The Awakening ends with Stephen waking from his nightmare with bloody hands as he looks for his wife. And I'm not sure if he has symbolically killed the memory of his deceased twin and is looking to share the news of his catharsis with his wife, or if this final scene is a retconned reference to the track Only Women Bleed, a song about a codependent, abused wife. And my final thought on this record is it's a great album for dark, cold, cloudy, rainy fall days. Number 3, Sleep in Safety by 45 Grave. And my first inclination is to name 45 Grave's Sleep in Safety as the scariest album I've ever heard. And to be honest, any of my top 3 picks could be number 1, depending on my mood, the phase of the moon, or even the humidity. Now, the scariest thing about 45 Grave and Sleep in Safety is the band's commitment to the shtick, no matter how absurd or over the top it may be. And even the tongue-in-cheek and campy instrumental tunes Riboflavin and Surf Bat are menacing. But the truly scary set of songs includes the true crime, tabloid-inspired Party Time, an older song which had actually appeared on some of their early indie releases. Now, the original recording of Party Time may be punkier and harder hitting, but this version is heavier and more epic, bigger and chunkier with tons of gang vocals. Be warned, the song's lyrics are a horrific account of true events. That's all I'm going to say. The track Procession is a pulsing, dissonant vampire story of an apparition decked out in black flowers and black dress who rises from her tomb preparing for her feast. Okay, it sounds like pretty standard fare, but hearing Dinah Cancer's choir girl gone wrong voice backed by a chthonic chorus of basso profundo zombies makes the hair on my arms stand up. Other gems include Slice of Life, which deals with cannibalism as just everyday normal life. And there's also the slightly progressive Phantoms, a song of dark secrets. One last thing, and I mentioned this in my 9 Amazing Albums You've Never Heard video. The creepiest piece on this album, La Tumba, is no longer available as part of the album. It was only available on the cassette, but you can find it online. And for any of you doing haunted garages or haunted houses for Halloween, just let La Tumba loop in the background.
It sing to you her song, her lips will open, but no sound will come, and in the silence she'll sing to you till dawn.
Number 2, Stab by the Pine Box Boys. If you've never heard this album, it's a killer. Literally. The Pine Box Boys are what would happen if bluegrassers Doc Watson and Bill Monroe joined Iron Maiden. Now, if that sounds weird, think about it for just a second. Bluegrass is the speed metal of folk music, right? And whatever style you want to label Iron Maiden as, their speed on their six-pack is undeniable. So the combination actually works, especially on the frantic The Tardy Hearse, a song about a hearse driver trying to get a body to the funeral on time. As you can guess, the consequences are not good. The track Mr. Skeleton is a song of bad choices, regret, and retribution. And the track The Wedding Gown is an epic story of a desperado who's pursued by a ghostly rider. But the scariest songs on the record are those which appear to draw directly upon Appalachian musical and folklore traditions, like the apocalyptic Southern gospel meets Tuvan throat singing of Will You Remember Me? And also the surprisingly sentimental and actually very gorgeous Garden of Stars. However, the most terrifying track for me on the whole record, and probably on the entire list, is Rattling Chains, a story of a ghost who skulks through the holler looking for her lost child. And the lyrics go, she'll come through your window, stand before your bed, to see if you were her baby, she'll pull the blanket from your head. And that always makes the hair on my arms stand up. But the really creepy thing about this song is the fiddle solo. There's no vibrato. It's a raspy, not pleasant tone, and it's driven by simple folk-like intonation, melodies, and rhythms. And there's one last thing about this album. I first heard it coming home 3 hours from a gig. I had come down with the flu on the gig, so I was passed out in the front seat while my bandmates Bob and Rachel blasted this album while driving back. So I heard this album for the first time ever filtered through a fever dream. And you know what? I haven't been quite right since.
Quick and start to run. Find out I'm the chosen one. Oh no!
Number 1, Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath. Okay, Sabbath's first record isn't quite as shocking and scary as it once was, but hey, it's the album that started it all. And Sabbath is my favorite band, so of course this one tops my list. Let's face it, the song Black Sabbath is flat out unsettling. The subject matter and the lyrics are frightening enough, but keep in mind the main riff is built on the tritone, the flatted fifth, also known as Diabolos in Musica, which translates into English as the devil in music, or it's also known as the devil's interval. And that musical gesture alone is enough to secure the top spot. But the fact that the opening section is a dirge, or a funeral march, brings it way over the top. But wait, the second half of the song is a swirling triplet-driven hellmouth of damnation, punctuated by a descending, maybe into the grave, bass line. And of course there's Ozzy's pleading cries of, "Oh no, and please God help me." This is just truly medieval stuff. Behind the Wall of Sleep, which is my favorite song on the record, by the way, is a groovy, rockin' big riff tune with psychedelic lyrics inspired by H.P. Lovecraft's Beyond the Wall of Sleep. And the track N.I.B. is another big riffer which tells the story of Lucifer falling in love, which causes him to change his alignment. And while Sabbath's debut may not be as extreme or shocking as the Pine Box Boys or 45 Grave, it's as heavy, dark, and intelligent as it gets. I really wish I could re-experience that dangerous, taboo sense of excitement that 15-year-old me felt the first time I ever heard this album. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this list will give you some ideas for some albums you might want to play to set the mood for the upcoming Halloween holiday. Please like, share, and subscribe if you're enjoying the channel's content. Hit the notification bell so you'll always know when a new episode drops. And feel free to leave comments or any suggestions for some topics you might like to see in some future videos. Also, check out my other channel, Live from the Stairwell, and check out some 100% live, unplugged performances from, you guessed it, my back stairwell. Also, keep your eyes open for String 'em Up Shorts, where I address various good guitaring ideas in under a minute. My name's Dave Holland, and thanks for watching String 'em Up. Have fun, stay safe, have a great Halloween, and I'll see you next time. Bye.